this whole thing about Aaron Rodgers being frustrated with the Packers, I've said in the past, I'm on Aaron Rodgers' side. I'd love to see Aaron Rodgers go to a team like the Denver Broncos or the New York Giants or Washington and really stick it to Green Bay and say, hey, you messed up. I win the Super Bowl here. Kind of like Tom Brady did with New England. Tom Brady stuck it to New England this past year by winning the Tampa Bay Buccaneers a Super Bowl. I believe Aaron Rodgers can do something very similar. And look, I was very critical of what the Green Bay Packers did in the 2020 NFL Draft when they decided to trade up and draft Jordan Love when the team clearly should be in win-now mode, when the team clearly had holes, when the team clearly was trending in the right direction, but yet the team did not support Aaron Rodgers. I still, to this day, am crucifying that pick, and ultimately, Jordan Love has to become a great player to justify this. He has to be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and he more than likely has to win the Packers a Super Bowl to justify that pick. You may disagree. My standards are high, and your standards should be high too, especially if you're a Packers fan. But here's the thing. I could talk about how the Packers should have given Aaron Rodgers, more support so he could have gone out there last year to help beat Tom Brady, help beat Russell Wilson and the Seahawks, help beat the Saints, the 49ers, because there's a lot of good teams in the NFC. And if you don't continue to improve your team, eventually teams are going to catch up to you. But I will say, I've been very, very critical of Brian Gutekunst and the Packers' ability to draft players. But this year, Aaron Rodgers should feel very good about the Green Bay Packers draft, okay? And I think the Green Bay Packers having a successful NFL draft, in my opinion, increases the likability that Aaron Rodgers stays in town, okay? I think Green Bay had a really good draft, and I said pay attention to what Green Bay does in the draft because it will tell you what they think about Aaron Rodgers and his future. If Green Bay goes out there and addresses the quarterback position, addresses the wide receiver position, addresses positions of need, that tells me they're all in this year regarding Aaron Rodgers. They're trying to improve their team. However, last year they drafted a quarterback, a running back, a blocking tight end, and 3 offensive linemen. They didn't need any of those things. Okay, they already had a good running back. They had a great quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. They had a good offensive line. Okay, so they didn't need those things last year. But this year, Green Bay goes out there and drafts a cornerback, a center, a wide receiver, a defensive tackle, positions of need, okay? I thought Green Bay nailed their first 3 picks. Eric Stokes out of Georgia, I think he's going to be a playmaking defensive back for that team. And they desperately needed help at defensive back. Josh Myers comes from the same school that Corey Linsley came from. He can fill the role for center, okay? And Amari Rodgers, he's the perfect wide receiver for Aaron Rodgers in this Green Bay Packers offense. Not to mention, Green Bay also drafted Daryl Shelton, a really underrated defensive tackle out of Florida, who's a monster. Green Bay filled their needs in this draft. And I am confident that if Aaron Rodgers returns to Green Bay this year and these draft picks pan out, Green Bay can compete and potentially win a Super Bowl. So wherever you stand on this Aaron Rodgers saga, all I know is this. Green Bay had a very successful draft. I know a lot of people wanted guys like Terrence Marshall in the first round of the draft. Listen, Aaron Rodgers and this Packers team, they didn't necessarily need a wide receiver. They just needed another complimentary guy because Aaron Rodgers, he just won an MVP thrown to those wide receivers last year. You still got Devontae Adams. You got reliable weapons. What Green Bay needs is to improve their defense. And I believe they improved their defense and they added a complimentary weapon. So I like the way Green Bay went about this draft. I was a fan of it. And I think Aaron Rodgers should be a fan of Green Bay's draft as well. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juice Alert Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juice Alert Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God bless day, and I'm out.